as we enter week 2 in lockdown 2. We've got a jam-packed webinar today. It's 15 minutes. So for those of you who have been with us regularly before, our aim in these webinars is to give you the most value we can of any marketing agency per minute. So that is my aim and objective. Can you just let me know, please, if you can hear me okay and you can see me all right, just before we kick off. Just anything in the comments would be great. Sounds good. Yes, can hear me. Perfect. Wonderful. Well, look, today we're going to go through this whistle-stop tour, but there were some lessons that we learned over the last 7-8 months that we really wanted to share with you and make sure that you were utilizing in your business. So I'm going to go through 4 key areas today, 4 things that you can utilize in your business today or tomorrow, and should make a big difference to your bottom line and the sales pipeline coming through your business. So look, it's been tough for 50% really of all businesses, just under. And there's been a lot of industries hit hard, and a lot of companies that have really struggled and had to pivot off the back of lockdown 1. Obviously, the stats are pretty recent, actually, in the last month or so. Just north of 250,000 businesses kind of shut down just due to lockdown itself. We have been very fortunate. We've actually grown rapidly in the last 7-8 months. There are a number of different reasons for that. I would say not a small reason at all would be we're kind of in the right place at the right time. There has been a huge sway of people moving to LinkedIn and digital, we've been sort of fortunate there. Yes, just to answer some questions live. Yes, I'll be sending this after the event, so you'll get a full recording of that. So look, guys, what I'm going to talk to you today is how you can actually get a network of highly engaged people who you want to be speaking to and working with. So whether it is Duncan here, who I was connected to for 18 months actually on LinkedIn, before we then reached out again via email in this case, with just a case study for him to have a look at. That worked, and it triggered a conversation, and they came on board a few weeks afterwards. Or whether it was Bob, we were actually looking at a market map report, again offering some value for him, and that triggered a chat as well. So there's various different techniques that we're going to talk to you about today. Ultimately, from a top level, we're going to talk about really the techniques, the philosophies, the framework of something that we call profile-based marketing. So if you are a consultancy, if you're a small business under 50 staff, if you have less than 50 clients and you want to grow and you want to scale, it really is trust in you, the person who really runs the business, or certainly is in the leadership team. It's that trust in you that you need to scale through LinkedIn, also through email, in order to get the right people knowing you and wanting to speak to you. So we're going to talk about combining inbound techniques, which is essentially content and giving value, and then outbound techniques through LinkedIn predominantly, which is really being direct with that person, and again offering value, but also asking if they want to have a chat. So 4 steps here to go through. Step 1, and it's really taking Seth Godin's kind of terminology, but it is absolutely true, is most businesses we speak to have done a fantastic job growing their business through referral and referral alone. That's all good. But if you want to get to the next level, you really have to niche down into a particular thing that you are known for. So most of our customers or people that we would work with start looking at these huge market maps, when actually you really need to identify your niche and double down on that. Couple of quick tips. The niche really should be based around your best case studies. Who are you providing disproportionate value for? Who have you done an amazing job? And who, most importantly, can you prove that with those are the people, those are the industries you want to start with. So looking at how do you even do that? Firstly, you want to get Sales Navigator on LinkedIn. So that's a premium package. You do need to sign up to that. It enables you to do some very cool things, particularly on building lists of people you want to talk to. One of the rookie mistakes is to target leads first, or people. You always want to target the companies first, because you can really profile what kind of company would be a good fit for you. And then off the back of that, you need to be looking at people and leads. We've done a whole webinar on exactly how you need to do that, the Boolean searches you need to set up, how you need to be qualifying people at present and working within that company. There's quite a few things there. So if you really want to get into this, which I recommend you do, please check out the website and have a look at Laura's webinar. I think it's 15 tips on Sales Navigator. So that's the first thing. Treat them as people, not personas. So we used to talk about personas when I was running a marketing agency, Marketing Mike and so on. But actually, it's the people, the individuals, and you need to treat them all completely individually. So that's step one. You've got your list now, companies and people. You then need to stand out. Most people nowadays are researching you online before they want to talk to you. I think that intrinsically kind of makes sense, and it's what the stats back up. And most people don't actually want to be sold to. We leverage what we call the trust formula, which is 7-4-11, which is for people to really feel like they know you. They need to have seen 7 hours worth of content. They need to see you on 4 different locations. So that could be website, LinkedIn company page, profile page, Twitter, and so on. And they actually need to have 11 different touch points with you. So you really want to be looking at doing this through LinkedIn. The first thing you need to do really is to stand out with your profile. And that essentially starts with your headline. This is one of our clients who we were able to get a really nice headline in for her profile that stood out. And time again, it's really that headline that is drawing people in to view her profile and then to connect or accept her connection. So with these guys, they're actually a tech company. They're targeting startup funded tech businesses. They have a 53% connection rate, which is solid. They booked 4 meetings actually in month 1, I think 14 in month 2. It's essentially because they're standing out. You can see through Helga's profile and the about section, it really is different. It says something new and it stands out from the crowd. You can also stand out with your actual LinkedIn messaging. So if you're going to go straight for a LinkedIn connection, which we wouldn't recommend, but if you do, then just make it contextual. So obviously lockdown was, and right now lockdown 2 is a good mutual point of interest. Make it funny, make it interesting. People do read them more than you think. There's a lot going around as to whether people read these things. They do, so take the time. The best thing to do right now, and probably for the next 6 to 9 months, is to like their post first before connecting. So you need to be monitoring in Sales Navigator people's posts every day, and then liking their content on the same day as then connecting with them. This is doubled, tripled, and quadrupled our connection rate and our clients' connection rate. So our benchmark now is a 50% benchmark on connecting to your senior decision makers or your influencers. So please like their content first, connect with them, referencing the fact that you liked their content. Again, if you have a really standout profile, people will come to you. You can also now optimize your profile for the skills that you have, which is just under the headline. You can edit that and optimize it for the services you offer. LinkedIn is a search engine, so people will search on that. And you can see here, Ben did that with Laura, my co-founder, and she booked a meeting 4 days after that interaction. Also, LinkedIn can be a quick win, but don't view it like that. It's one-to-one, it's personal, it's a human approach, not automated. You need to really get into the detail of conversations. There's quite a lot of back and forth that you need to do. You can see one of our clients has done here, just in order to kind of get some rapport and to eventually get that meeting. So you can see it's completely personalized to that person. Same again here. Ideally, you want to be offering value, but essentially connecting with them early, allowing them to come to you. And we can talk about that in a second, how you would do that. But essentially, a good example here is through LinkedIn posts. So we've got one of our clients, this particular post generated 25,000 views, just over, can't see that properly, but I think 300 likes and a bunch of comments. And a lot of their target businesses viewed that post. And actually, separately to that, we've got another client of ours targeting influencers. And again, because they're really now getting traction with their LinkedIn posts, because they're consistent and they post 2 to 3 times a week, which we recommend, they're getting influencers happily accepting meetings with them. So I'm going to whiz through this, just more examples of people liking our clients' kind of messaging and booking meetings. So that's kind of step 2 and 3. So stand out and also deliver the right message to the right person at the right time. And then the final kind of step really is to provide real value. Most people that you see on LinkedIn, if they're reaching out to you, do it in very much a spammy way. They're not offering value and they're selling straight off the bat. Please do not be that person. It's awful and just people hate it. I mean, it does work if you go out to enough people, but you kind of cannibalize your market a bit by doing that. So always think, what can I do to offer value to my network? What would they appreciate? What would they find value in? It can be humor, can be trends, can be something about yourself, your company. There's lots of different ways to provide value. So this is another client of ours, 22,000 views, bunch of comments and likes. Again, you can then look at the companies that are viewing your content and then start to connect with and start to have conversations with those key accounts. So this particular approach, posting, looking at the companies viewing your post, works really well with an account-based marketing approach. So for those of you guys who are targeting big accounts, posting is absolutely key. And there's another webinar you can have a look at in terms of how to maximize your reach, get engagement, and get people on the phone essentially after a post. Okay, so as well as posting, you need to be liking, you need to be commenting and resharing other people's content. You can use obviously hashtags to ensure your post gets a much bigger reach. You can tag mutual connections who you know who would be interested in that topic. That also gets you a much bigger reach. And then generally liking and commenting on people's posts is a very good way to go. It's got a couple of minutes left here. Articles. I had a conversation with a client today about articles, and they wanted to produce two per month. I would strongly recommend, if you're going to spend time on LinkedIn, don't spend it just producing articles, spend it on posts. Articles, you'll generally get 1/10 of people viewing that would view your posts. So if you get 1,000 people viewing your post, you'll get about 100 or less viewing an article. So 1 per quarter is a good thing to do. Very useful for those people who find that they want to find more about you, they want to research you, and just check that you know your stuff. That's where articles come in. They don't come in and are not helpful when you're looking to build top of mind awareness at the top of the marketing funnel. Again, case studies are one of the best ways to get meetings, particularly if you have good ones. So if you're one of the businesses on the webinar today who have been up and running for 3, 5+ years, you're going to have some great case studies. Leverage those. Go to your marketing department, go to an outsourced web designer, get them really looking good, make sure that they make sense, and then leverage those, because that is what people want to see. They want to see the evidence of what you're talking about. So ultimately, guys, that's on the 15 minutes. That is a quick whistle-stop tour as to what is working really well for us, well for our clients. Yes, so to break it down again, focus on people, not personas. Make sure that everything is completely tailored to them. stand out from the crowd. You can do that with your headline, your profile, with your posts, and your comments. Make sure that you are not spamming, you're sending the right message to the right person at the right time. Be patient, and then ultimately provide some real value. All right, guys, so I'm going to answer any questions now, so feel free, if you want to drop off. That is the kind of the main bit done. Laura, I did not mention Laura, but she's the person who has been answering all your questions. Just going to see if there's anything else that you need answered. Laura's just saying maybe she's got one for me, so hold on a second. Okay, yes, from Siobhan, hopefully I've pronounced that correctly. How do we encourage people to start conversations under our posts rather than just hitting the like button? So how do we encourage people to start conversations under our posts? Yeah, I mean, look, we use a number of different techniques. One of them is to use what we call social agents. So you would have a list of up to 100 people that are pre-informed that you are looking to expand your LinkedIn network and be more active. So these are people you've known for years, people you've had good conversations with, and essentially you would say, look, I'd love to tag you in some relevant posts. Please feel free to tag me back. So that is a way of getting genuine, authentic people actually commenting on your posts in an authentic way that isn't, that isn't artificial. So that's one really good way. You obviously can join something called pods, LinkedIn pods. They can be really good if they are specialized enough. But if you join the wrong pod, which is essentially where you've got a bunch of people who will kind of comment and share your content, if you join the wrong pod, there's a lot of irrelevant people there. So you just need to be a bit careful there. Also, as soon as you get a comment on your post, get straight onto it and comment back. So really start expanding the thread. LinkedIn's algorithm rates very highly conversations within the comment section. So if you can have a conversation with someone, which is where your social agents really come in handy because they know you, then that will expand the reach of your post even further to your first degree network, get more views, get more comments, and it will be a self-fulfilling circle. All right, just going to go. Sarah, I think, has, oh, goodness me, hold on. Let me just go into this here. Hold on, Sarah had a question. Getting people to answer messages, email has been a great challenge. I'm not sure you asked something previously, Sarah, but I'm just going to take that as it is, getting people to answer messages in email. Yes, so I might be unpopular with some people here, but InMail, I mean, we don't use it because it's ultimately InMail is just direct sales. So the return on direct sales, depending on your industry and sector, is 1 to 2%. So if you go to enough people, then it will ultimately work. But probably wouldn't recommend doing InMail at all. So I think Sales Navigator has. Sales Navigator has, I think, I can't remember the number because we don't use it, but it's a low number of InMails you can send per month. And as I say, we just don't use it because it's actually too direct for our clients, and we avoid it. So I hope that helps. Also, what if your prospects or leads are not very active on LinkedIn? What would be an alternative way? Well, first thing to do is make sure that you're giving yourself the best chance and that they are active on LinkedIn. So that's not very helpful, Fergus. Why are you saying that? What I'm saying is when you do your account list build and then swap that to leads, as in looking for people within those accounts, make sure at the top you'll see active within the last 30 days. Typically, it's about 25 to 35% of your overall pool of people are active, which means they've posted at least once in 30 days. Those are the people you want to go with initially, and you want to go with active in 30 days and second degree connection because they're much more likely to connect to you then. So that is what I would recommend there, is starting really right from the top. If you want to get hold of people who are never on LinkedIn, then change the channel, and that's why we use email, because not everyone is active on LinkedIn, although more people are active than ever now. All right, I've got a question from Olivia. Is it better to share articles from your website as posts to get traffic? Sorry, is it better to share articles from your website as posts to get traffic to your website? Or are people more likely to read it on LinkedIn instead of having to open a new window? Well, ultimately, the way we view it is that LinkedIn is its own landing page. And the last thing you really want to do is drive awareness and interest in an article on LinkedIn and then push it through to your website. It's just another click on the user or the buyer journey. So we keep them there. We put calls to action at the end of the articles. We can put calls to action within the articles as well. Obviously, those articles are normally published within your own profile. So making sure your contact details are visible, that you've got great featured content as well that shows that you do great work. So yeah, and then ultimately people will connect with you and contact you through your LinkedIn profile. It's a much quicker and smoother buyer journey than navigating them to your website. I know it doesn't help with website stats. So if you want to sort of prove website stats and views, but it will get you better conversions. Okay, how are we doing for time? As long as everyone's okay, I'll just keep going until the last question, if that's all right. So I've got, Henry was there. 2 seconds, Henry. Pretty sure it's Henry. Yeah, LinkedIn algorithm seems to punish shared articles and doesn't show it to too many people. Is that real or have I imagined it? Do you know what, Henry, sorry, it feels real, but it isn't real. So some of our best posts, so we've had posts achieve over 350,000 views, and you've seen a couple with 20,000, but regularly over 20, 30,000. They have been resharing of other people's content. So that isn't always the case, but I certainly wouldn't focus on doing that as your main strategy. Maybe 1 in every 3 or 4 posts should be like that, and the others should be original posts. So I hope that helps. Okay, good. Algorithm done. Graham, do you share third-party content articles to contribute to the industry? Does it work too? No problem, Henry. Hold on. Should you share third-party content to contribute to the industry? Yeah. Well, it depends on the content. I mean, if the content is good, if it's research reports, if it's something cutting edge, if it's interesting, basically, if it's valuable to your audience, you should absolutely do it. 1, you'll be magnanimous because you're sharing other people's content. But 2, what people are really interested in is they're interested in your opinion on that piece of news. So yes, you should. Don't do it the whole time. There's nothing worse than a LinkedIn newsfeed full of industry reshares because it is really boring. But if you pick the right content, again, that is valuable to your audience, that they will enjoy or get some value from, and you offer an opinion on it, that is a good strategy. And again, mix it up. 1 in 3, 1 in 4 posts should be like that. All right, Laura, I'm just going to get your confirmation that you've answered everything going up above. And assuming you have, I think we are there. So look, guys, I hope you got value from that. We're going to follow up in the next day or so with this recording and the slides and maybe some various different bits. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got value from it. If you want to reach out to either myself or Laura, you'll be able to find us on LinkedIn or go to the Pitch 1 to 1 website, which is pitch1to1.com. We'll see you there. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.